Welcome to NVC Dudes. I'm Brian.
I'm James. Welcome to NVC Dudes. And today
Welcome.
we're going to talk about Thanksgiving.
Oh, Thanksgiving.
Brian, what are your plans for Thanksgiving?
Well, plans have changed. I was planning to go to a larger family gathering. A couple weeks ago, it was all set in stone. We were ready to, by car. We're all fairly local. But with the risks going up, my mom decided she did not want to, join the big family. She was going to stay home. So I decided, well, I'd like to be with my mom for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to go see her. And it's just going to be the two of us. And, it's not the ideal Thanksgiving, but I'll be able to see family, one family member anyway. And we're going to have dinner and things like that. So not exactly ideal, but that's what we decided. How about you?
Yeah, so just to connect a little bit with that, so hearing some gratitude, are you grateful that you get to hang out with your mom, that she's local, and a little connection?
Yeah, I'm really grateful that she's local and I don't have to get on a plane to go see her for sure. That's not something I'd be willing to do right now. So yeah, I'm glad she's a few hour drive away, and we can see each other and have a classic Thanksgiving meal together, even if it's not with a big group.
Ready to hear from me?
Yes, I'd love to hear what happened with your plans.
Oh man. Yeah, hearing about your plans. I just noticed feeling a little sad because I don't get to see my mom, and I really wanted to hang out with her. And right now she recognizes me, and that may not be true next year.
Right.
So it's a part of me that's a little sad. And I too had planned on going out there. I was willing to take kind of a calculated risks on the whole COVID thing in the Midwest. But as I looked at the data, the place where they live, I don't want to call it out, smack in the middle of the United States, that their COVID, let's see, the infection rate for people that are getting tested was 58.7%.
Wow.
So more than half the people around me would be, a chance of infection. So their infection rate is just like almost vertical.
Wow.
So I'm a little little upset, that the people in that state really they don't seem to believe science.
Yeah.
And and empathizing with their need for autonomy and liberty, right? And so they don't want to wear the mask, so they want to be able to just do their own thing, and it has an impact on others. So a lot of people are dying as a result. So
Right.
It's not meeting needs for community and health. Health is a community thing.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of a minor thing that I don't get to travel to see everyone, but it's definitely, so it's highlighting the need for interdependence, that,
Right.
When it comes to health, it really is a interdependent thing. It's not just you wearing a mask. It's like, we're all in this together. So
Right.
I'm kind of bummed about that, and frankly concerned with my friends and family that live in that state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving is going to be a little different this year for me, and probably for pretty much everybody.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Hearing the sadness around there, the disappointment. Wanting to go see your mom and you don't get a chance to, but that safety is important to you. Safety for you and all the members of your family.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Sort of like the risk level exceeded what I was willing to live with. And so choosing to stay local, and also bummed I don't get to see my son because he's out of state as well. Yeah. So there you have it.
Yeah. So you have these needs that aren't being met. Some of them are, some of them are not. I mean, your need, some of the needs that you mentioned, need for safety and things like that are being met by with making this decision. But then you're not having some of your other needs met. So what do you do in a situation where you want to get all your needs met, right? I mean,
I'd like to, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, and there's a difference between needs and strategies. So what I'm doing with this is, I do have needs for community and companionship and caring. So I'm seeing if I can hang out with some friends to celebrate Thanksgiving. We're going to do a socially distanced thing, wearing masks and stuff, and I'm getting my mom in her facility. I'm asking them to get a Wi-Fi extension to make our video calls a little bit more stable. That's the other strategy I chose.
Okay.
To facilitate my seeing my mother and maintaining that relationship.
Right.
Right now we're able to do video, but it only lasts like a minute or two before it drops.
Mm.
So
you're turning to some technology strategies to meet that one need of being able to see each other.
Yeah. Stay connected to mom, be able to have her see me and meets needs for caring, and also like support. I get to support her, and she gets to support me.
Yeah. And then you have this other need for community and connection, which you were hoping to do flying to the Midwest. But now you've shifted that strategy to go, okay, well, maybe some friends local can get together and do something safe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know some dudes and other friends that like to hang out and stay safe together. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. So in a way, you are getting your needs met.
Yeah.
And
I'm being flexible with my strategies while still, trying to get these needs met.
Yeah.
Which are important to me.
And something that I've noticed, at least in my family, is that a lot of times, family members will do something because they feel they have to do it, right? That because this is something we do every year, this Thanksgiving ritual, we can't skip it. We have to do it. And so we've got a lot of people in the family they're going to go ahead and go anyway. They're going to go to the larger gathering. And a lot of the time it's because they believe that it's something they have to do to make other people happy, right? Mm-hmm. And what do you do in an instance like that? I mean, that's the antithesis of NVC, right? It's like,
yeah,
you don't want to do that.
Yeah. So NVC talks about how have to energy creates internal resentment, which turns into anger because there's unspoken expectations. Like you said, they're doing it for other people, not necessarily for themselves. So there's an internal cost, and the relationship can suffer as a result. So NVC invites us to change that have to a choose to.
Mm.
If they choose to go anyway, that hopefully they're doing it out of integrity. That they're meeting their own values instead of just kind of going along, following the unwritten rule or the cultural demands.
Right, cultural norms of the family. Like, yeah, this is what's expected of you as a part of the clan, right? Like, you need to do this, not that you choose to. Yeah.
So I know what I would do is I would try to find what the yes is, what the choose to is for me.
Right.
Yeah. And so I opted to not travel to see my family.
Right. Even though that would have met a lot of needs for you. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't want to do something. So choosing to go might have met some needs for connection and community, but I wouldn't want to do that at the expense of my health
Right.
and my survival potentially, right?
Right.
And I could also put my son's health at risk,
Exactly.
and my mother's health at risk. So
Right.
so making better choices. So a lot of NVC is about waking up to be more choiceful about how we proceed through life, as opposed to just going with the flow.
Right. And I think on the outside, people might interpret that as some sort of a selfish choice, like you're not putting the needs of others ahead of yours, and that's something that's seen as negative. But
Yeah, the selfish thing.
yeah.
Boy, we're really extending this one.
Hey, this is all going on. This is all going on for Thanksgiving.
This
is a big
yeah,
thing.
yeah, the selfish thing. So yeah, Marshall Rosenberg talked about shifting the perspective from selfish to self-full, and that, you know, when I say meeting my needs, I have not only needs for autonomy and agency and independence, but I also have needs for community, and I also care about your well-being. So health and well-being is kind of a shared thing,
Right.
and I also have a need to contribute to life, to contribute to your health and well-being. So in my world, making choices from this full awareness of my needs, which include interdependent needs, gives me more freedom, and I'm actually contributing to life by doing that. Did that make sense?
Yeah, very well said. No, I like that a lot. And I think being in that world is something that's difficult for people who have done things their whole lives because they feel they either had to or was expected of them and things like that, and forgotten how to connect with what they actually really need in those moments.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. And I remember Marshall Rosenberg talking about, hey, if we do things out of duty or obligation or out of some rule, there's a cost. There's a cost to the relationship, and there's a cost to my well-being, because I'm doing something that's not totally congruent with my truth. Right. And that turns into resentment, disappointment, and it eventually turns into violence if it goes unchecked. I'll lose my temper, lash out at you, and then feel guilty about it.
Right.
So in a culture that's driven by guilt and shame, there's like this toxic relationship between people that I try to guilt you into doing stuff out of a manipulation thing. There's a cost to that.
Yeah.
And so NVC is inviting us to act congruently with our values, right, which includes, not only me, it also includes the interdependence of you and me.
Right.
Yeah. So that kind of goes back to that thing we talked about before. Needs do include me, and they include you. My needs include you, and they also include me.
Right. Exactly.
Cool.
Well, I'm excited to do a different sort of Thanksgiving this year. It's going to be interesting and different, and I hope we get to do a little bit of our own little community Thanksgiving maybe the next day as a bonus Thanksgiving together.
Yeah, sounds good to me. We'll call it a Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving. Here we do. Let's do it.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Until next time, everybody.
Bye.